lesson, I am going to teach you about the nature of quadratic roots, okay, using the discriminant. So you need to remember that the discriminant in quadratic equation is b squared minus 4ac. Just like a formula, so we cannot change anything in this discriminant. Any term or any number, any coefficient, any variable, we cannot change. So it looks familiar, right? Because it is included, this expression is included in quadratic formula. So doon lang siya kinuha. Regarding the derivation, I don't know how did they derive this, but I am perfectly sure that it came from the quadratic formula. Okay? So now, in your module, I already listed the conditions, no, regarding the nature of quadratic roots or types of solutions in quadratic equations. Actually, we can predict pala if yung roots na makukuha natin ay real, ay imaginary, rational or unequal, ganyan. We can predict pala using the discriminant. Kasi we are solving the roots di ba? Using the four methods, extracting square roots, factoring, completing the square, and then quadratic formula. Yun yung ginagamit natin para mahanap yung roots. Pero dito, kaya pala natin i-identify kung saan siya nabibilang sa number system without actually computing the roots. That is by using the discriminant, b squared minus 4ac. Okay? So, ang mga conditions po, andyan sa module ninyo. And I am going to take note later on. Pero, now, the first part of this lesson, I am going to teach you how to get the discriminant of quadratic equations. So, it is very easy, no? Kasi, nakalagpas na nga kayo dun sa quadratic formula. Of course, dito kayang-kaya nyo din yan. So, using the discriminant, or the formula for the discriminant, we will solve for the discriminant of the following quadratic equations. Let's say we have this quadratic equation here. And then, ayan. Just like what I taught you about solving quadratic equations using quadratic formula, the quadratic equations here must be in standard form for you to be able to find the values of A, B, and C. Kasi kailangan din natin dito yan. Ayan, I am listing the values of A, B, and C for each equation. I know, alam nyo naman na yan. Ayan. And then, right after natin ma-list yung values ni A, B, and C, we will substitute them using the discriminant. Okay? So, B, that is 8 squared minus 4. A is 2. 3 ang C. Okay? This is 64 minus 4 times 2 times 3. That is 24 if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 24. 64 minus 24, the answer is 40. Okay, yun na yun. Yun na yung discriminant ng 40. Later on, i-check natin sila. Okay, the answer for the discriminant of letter A is 40. Okay, we need to remember that. Now, on the second equation, let's solve for the value of the discriminant. Okay? This is 5 squared minus 4, quantity 3, quantity negative 2. This is 25, negative 12 times negative 2. The answer is positive 24. Okay, so 25 plus 24, the answer is 49. Kung nabibilisan kayo, hindi ko na siya masyadong ini-elaborate, no? Kasi I know that you already know how to compute this, how to simplify this. So the answer in letter B is 49. How about equation letter C and letter D? So I'm going to write the equation letter C. We have x squared minus 8x plus 16 is equal to 0. Letter D, we have 6x squared minus 2x plus 5 equals 0. And now, we have no problem kasi the equations are already in standard form. Naka-arrange na sila. So, let's move on in finding the values of A, B, and C. And I'm listing the values of A, B, and C. And then, solve for the discriminant. Minus 4 times 1 and 16. This is 64 minus 4 times 1 times 16. This is also 64. 64 minus 64, this is 0. Okay? So, 0. And then on letter D, we have negative 2 squared minus 4ac. This is 4 minus 24 times 5. That is 120. 4 minus 120, the answer is negative 116. Okay. So, yun ang inyong discriminant ng ating apat na equation. Now, ma'am, how can we find the nature of the roots? Okay? So, using the discriminant, yung mga na-solve nating discriminant, no? We need to remember, I'm going to write na din dito kahit na nasa module niya na. Ayan. If the value of the discriminant that we computed is equal to 0, sabi, the nature of the roots are real and equal number. So, real and equal number. So, kapag ang na-compute mo daw sa discriminant ng quadratic equation ay 0, ibig sabihin, kapag sinolve mo yung quadratic roots nun, ang sagot ay real and equal numbers. Okay? So, ganun lang yun. Number 2, kapag positive and perfect square, ang roots mo daw ay real, rational, and unequal numbers. So, pag halimbawa, yung discriminant na na-compute mo ay positive at the same time perfect square like letter B, meaning kapag kinompute mo yung quadratic roots ng quadratic equation na yun, makukuha mong roots ay real, rational, and unequal numbers. Next, number 3, kapag naman positive but not perfect square. Perfect square. So, sorry, lumiit. Yan, pag positive but not perfect square, the nature of quadratic roots are real, irrational, and unequal numbers. So, kapag na-compute mo yung discriminant and lumabas na it is positive but it is not a perfect square. Like letter A, positive siya but 40 is not a perfect square, di ba? Therefore, kapag kinompute mo yung quadratic roots ng quadratic equation na yon na given kanina, ang lalabas na roots ay real, irrational, and unequal numbers. Paano naman kapag negative number yung na-compute mo dun sa discriminant? Like letter D, negative yung lumabas, di ba? There is no real root. Meaning, imaginary yung root niya. So, meaning pala, nung kinumpit natin yung discriminant ni equation, letter D, di ba? nagka-come up tayo sa negative 116. Sabi dito, kapag nakakuha ka ng negative dun sa discriminant mo, ang nature ng quadratic roots niyan, kapag sinolve mo yung quadratic roots, ang lalabas dyan, no real root. There is no real solution in this equation because ang lalabas dyan sa solution set mo ay imaginary number. Without solving the quadratic roots, we now know na, okay, ganito pala yung mangyayari, ganito pala yung lalabas na roots ko, ganito pala yung type ng solution na mangyayari sa akin. Gets ba? So, ganyan. Minsan kasi hindi nature of quadratic roots, type of solution yung lalabas. Sa ibang book, type of solutions yung nakalagay. Types of solutions. So, yun. Kapag 0 yung nakuha nyo na value ng discriminant, yung quadratic roots ng quadratic equation na yun, without even solving, ha, alam nyo na ang lalabas na roots nun, real and equal numbers. Sorry. Kapag naman positive and perfect square, ang quadratic roots nun, without solving it, you will know na the roots are real, rational, and an equal number. Kapag naman positive but not a perfect square ang nakompute niyong discriminant, without computing the quadratic roots, you know that the roots will be real, irrational, and unequal numbers. And lastly, kapag negative yung nakompute mo na discriminant, without solving the quadratic roots, you know that that quadratic equation has no real root, or the roots are imaginary or non-real. So that concludes our lesson regarding nature of quadratic roots, or finding the nature of quadratic roots using the discriminant b squared minus 4ac.